Today, I'm going to be taking on Crusader Kings 3's Endgame crisis. In 1200 AD, a horde of bloodthirsty Mongols descends upon Europe. However, frequently in the base game, the Empire quickly breaks apart upon the death of the Khan. So I've downloaded a mod that buffs the Mongol invasion and makes this endgame challenge significantly harder, increasing the speed and power of their armies and the stability of their realm. Our journey begins in the region of rather unfortunately named provinces. The one in which I'll be starting is rather aptly named. Not only is it very close to the Mongol Empire's spawn point, it also is surrounded by zero development provinces, disadvantaging us in income and technology and putting us on the back foot from the very beginning. With around 140 years to prepare for the invasion, will we be able to survive another 100 without being subsumed by the Mongols? In the year 1066, word reaches Chieftain Enki of a great evil brewing in the east. In just over a century, our progeny and all of Europe will be greatly under threat. A humble and compassionate man with little training in the art of war, he is now called to unite the clans of Siberia. We begin our arduous training in martial to gain enough levies to defeat our neighbouring clan. And with our only daughter, we secure a powerful alliance with the Eshigan clan of Togina. Personally leading the armies, we march ruthlessly onwards to Kotoy. Afraid to meet us in pitched battle, the enemies allow us to lay siege to their province, securing the first of many victories. With no time to spare, we continue to press the attack, training intensely to improve our military ability, secure ourselves stalwart allies and a capable spouse. We leverage our courtiers to attract the best warriors to the realm, then boost their effectiveness to raid and invade the surrounding lands. Our valiant warriors felling many foes. We nurture our son in the ways of war and impart our knowledge of the impending doom. With more allies at our side, we pile on the pressure, carving out enough land to form our own kingdom. We're now seen as a mighty Khan. Our newfound tribal court inspires the people and buffs our armed forces. We award accolades to our best and brightest knights. Our son very happy to be paired off with not only a resourceful but lustful wife. And our martial training pays off with many of the perks unlocked, our horde becoming an efficient and effective fighting force. Our rapid expansion and preparations have put considerable stress on our ruler, with many tough decisions having to be made. So to relieve the pressure, we get hunting and feasting, and generally indulging, bringing us and our vassals immense joy. That is up until the point we develop a very rough case of gout. As we subjugate more of our rivals, we grow weaker and weaker, eventually succumbing to our fatal illness. Our son Gelig the Armless takes up the throne. It's not likely we've got much time left with him either. So to ensure the succession is safe, we take drastic precautions and use our remaining prestige to field powerful horse archers. Succumbing to our wounds, a young child takes the throne, with the true face of a tyrant who knows that drastic action must be taken to ensure stability, coming down on the insurrection with an iron fist. With a few years left before our regency ends, we take some time to recuperate, beginning to develop up our provinces before embarking on a grand tour to amass the currency that tribes use for war, prestige. At the culmination of our tour, we finally come of age, but now we have a new challenge: to throw off the shackles of our Oedipal mother, who has entrenched herself as regent. Not wishing to be paid off, it is time to resort to drastic measures, with the well-timed bite of a deadly spider. Now known as the Lion, we continue to expand our realm, taking back the reins of power, and seek to secure the Tengri holy sites, which will allow us to create a religion much more accepting, to unite Europe around the common Mongol threat, whose arrival looms closer and closer, and we carefully select our offspring with the know-how to defeat them. Murders at court. We work relentlessly to identify the perpetrator and enact justice to deter anyone from defying us again, as our warriors smash down the gates of Karakorum before turning our forces west to make inroads to the Khanate of Cyber, cutting through their forces with ease. We also move down the August tree so that we can more easily extend a helping hand to the smaller nations around us, subsuming them into our kingdom with the true ruler perk. To guarantee enough piety to reform our faith, we go on pilgrimage, while also grappling with the challenges of raising children. Although many nearby lords take us up on our offer for protection and our kingdom grows larger and larger, it becomes clear that our land is far too destitute to support an army that can act as a bulwark against the Mongols. So we must look to carve out some richer lands. So we take the decision to start the Great Migration west. We muster our forces and call forth our allies to push forward into Kemek to secure a vital stepping stone for our next target. The riches of the Duchy of Thrace, held currently by the Byzantine Empire. Around and across the Black Sea our forces march on. Our technologically advanced foe no match for our superior numbers. Our plan is not to destroy the Byzantine Empire, merely to take enough provinces to hybridize with the Greek culture and develop them for ourselves. With only 50 years to go now until the invasion takes place, we need a way to skyrocket our innovation. By hybridizing with the Greek culture, we will unlock many innovations, as well as a few traditions that give us access to some special units, while also scrapping mystical ancestors, which is preventing the disinheriting of our unwanted sons, as we want to carefully select our heirs with the genius trait. We ensure the longevity of our ruler by first going down the health tree, before going down the scholar tree to help with our development and technological growth. We then grab our last required holy site, the province in Crimea. With our copious amount of piety we've amassed over the decades, we decide to reform Tengriism, adding in Christian syncretism to give us bonus relations with Christian characters, opening the possibility of marriage and powerful alliances. We also take a leaf out of the Christian faith and appoint a spiritual head of faith, who will award us with copious amounts of gold for maintaining a pious life. And let's not forget changing our marriage laws to keep the bloodline pure and strong. We then turn back to Siberia to carve out further territory that is easy to govern, as we maintain close ties in culture and religion, to gain enough provinces to upgrade our kingdom to a mighty empire. Maintaining peace with the Greeks and using our steward to promote cultural acceptance means we are now ready to hybridize the Greek and Buryak cultures, pushing us from the tribal to high medieval era, and allowing us to adorn some rather splendid finery. The genius son takes the throne. With an education in stewardship, his focus will be to develop the economy in our newly conquered lands, using the proceeds to build up defences and a powerful standing army. To boost economic growth and save on our building costs, we move from a warlike to administrative court, and we adopt the feudal ways of Western Europe, lifting the cap on our technological innovations, which we'll most certainly need to outclass the Mongols. For each of the new provinces that we borrow from the Greeks, we use to specialise each of our men-at-arms units, and we plan to fight fire with fire using our mighty horse archers. And then once unlocked, we shall supplement them with crossbowmen, a powerful counter unit. And let's not forget our valiant knights. We look to grab at least 2 duchies, where we can build military academies, stacking significant knight effectiveness bonuses, all the more potent where we hold Tengri's grand temples. Over the next few decades, most of our buildings reach level 4, and our income reaches over 50 gold per month. But unfortunately, on the eve of the invasion, our wise and shrewd emperor falls from his horse, suffering the rest of our days in torturous existence. We're in no fit state to fight off any attackers. It's still several years before death shows us mercy, and as our son enjoys rejoicing over his glorious coronation, we're interrupted. The prophecy has been fulfilled. Word reaches the castle. Innumerable horde arrives in the east. Siberia shall be our first line of defense. Can we prevent them from attaining a foothold, push them out of Europe for good? We muster horse archers, crossbowmen and cataphracts. We are joined by our Christian allies, the mighty kingdoms of Denmark and Bohemia, although it seems they have been bogged down by infighting, refusing to acknowledge the existential threat at hand. We managed to intercept them at Ulan Gol. For the first few days we have the upper hand, as a group of Danes looks to reinforce, but despite our valiant efforts, our forces cannot rout the enemy before their reinforcements arrive, and we suffer a catastrophic defeat. The Siberian lands have been lost to the Mongols. With brief respite from the truce, we get back to rebuilding, to avenge our forces that were lost at Ulangol. We build up more men-at-arms, several units of crossbowmen trained to rain bolts down upon the horse archer formations. Attacked for a second time, this time we are ready, and we are able to maintain an enclave against this ever-engulfing empire. With more of our high-level buildings under completion and most of the high medieval innovations unlocked, We bolster our warriors further with only the strong, regaining our confidence to meet the enemy in battle. We declare war for the Kingdom of Bulgaria, wisely picking our pitched battles as our allies distract the enemy forces. We win several victories. We're able to negotiate the seizing of this land. Our victory against the Mongols weakens their authority and slows their expansion to a standstill. The nations of Europe now inspired to fight back against the horde. Having completed their challenge of surviving 100 years against the Mongols, our dynasty's story shall be recounted in legend for many years to come. If you enjoyed this Crusader Kings 3 challenge, then be sure to check out the videos coming up right now, and be sure to give a like to the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be recommended more. I'm MellowScot, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.